Welcome to another week of the Benchables. Andy McNamara, Lindsay Dunn here, breaking down the top sports news. And of course, Andy, the big story in the NBA, especially in Canada, is surrounding the Raptors. They had to postpone their game on Sunday. They didn't have the league 8 minimum players to play. That's, of course, all surrounding this COVID safety, health, and protocols with the league. We found out on Friday that Nick Nurse and 5 members of his coaching staff were being placed in the health and safety protocols because of COVID-19. Added Pascal Siakam, of course, because of privacy. We're not going to know if they actually have it. Of course, many fans getting excited, though, that Kyle Lowry might possibly get the chance to coach.
I think right now, I think probably me. I think Kyle has got his sights on bigger things. I think he's more of a string puller than a coach and a manager of personalities. You know what I'm saying? He's too emotional sometimes. So.
Fred VanVleet calling him too emotional. Of course, he was joking, but he couldn't actually be the head coach of the Raptors, or no player in the NBA could step up because of a CBA agreement. But that made me think, who has been the best player coach that we've ever seen? And mine is hands down Phil Jackson. He's got the receipts. Ooh. He is a legend. Interesting method. But Andy, I want to ask you, who has been the worst player coach transition?
Lindsay, to me, this is much more of a fun conversation because you have the greats, like all these greats can't necessarily translate what they did to others, right? Because it's like, well, it came easy to me or whatever, and it can't translate. To me, one of the worst has got to be Wayne Gretzky, right?
Yeah.
Arizona Coyotes, right? Came in and it just didn't work. The great one was like, look how awesome I am. Look at all these stats. And everyone just say, didn't work. But Lindsay, I got a beef with Gretzky that goes back to 1993. 12-year-old Andy, okay? Still bitter, still holding on to it. Wayne Gretzky, the non-call heard around the world, the high stick up to the face of Doug Gilmour, kind of busted wide open. And 12-year-old Andy Lindsay was bitter. He was mad. No call. Of course, the Kings went on to the Stanley Cup final. It should have been the Maple Leafs. So until the Maple Leafs win a Stanley Cup, I will hold a grudge towards Wayne Gretzky. And Lindsay goes so far, I refuse to ever step foot into Wayne Gretzky's restaurant, which I think is closed now. I never stepped foot in it. People would say, hey, let's go to Gretzky's. No, not this guy. Not going there. Didn't support him for 1 second, and now that restaurant's closed. Gretzky, I want a personal apology to Leafs Nation all these years later. And then, personally, I will forgive you. But not until then.
Wow, calling out the great one. I'm going to call you the grudge one, since you've been holding a grudge since back then, buddy. That is intense.
Lot of weight in the shoulder. A lot of baggage. Lindsay.
It was an exciting weekend, especially for Jays fans.
Yes. So spring training, right? We saw the first games and all that. So that's awesome. But Lindsay, where are the Blue Jays with all the excitement going to finish this year? That's the question.
I think, let's get ridiculous. We were 1 spring training game, Grapefruit League, into this all. We haven't even seen regular season. We don't actually know the set roster. So why not go big? And I say, if they don't have, after that one game I saw, an AL East title, it's a bust. I think they're going to do it. AL East, they're winging it.
Woo!
What do you
Lindsay
think?
Says AL East. Okay. Now, I love it. And I can see it happening. But I'm going to say second. I think the big bad Yankees still really good. But everybody else, Tampa Bay Rays, boring. Orioles stink. Red Sox get out. I think AL East second, but a wild card berth. They get into the playoffs, and then, as we know, anything can happen, right? So I think
playing it safe, buddy.
Second and a wild card.
Come on.
No Gretzky, wild card. Let's go. Let us know, though, guys. Let us know. Comment section below on Twitter as well. Let us know what you think the Blue Jays season is going to look like. Where do they finish? Do they make the playoffs?